What's up, y'all? Yep, Harden is starting. Not shocking. This is what he does. Guy's a tank. Pregame show starts in 5. Law Murray coming on. Carlo, of course. I gotta wake my bitch ass up. Adam's family. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, well, you should have heard Law on Monday about it at practice. What day is it? Maybe Tuesday at practice. New information came out. The sleepy and the smoky. All right, starting in 2 minutes, guys. This is the motto, MK. I didn't run. I didn't even work out today. I ran a half marathon on Tuesday and I'm still feeling it. Maybe that was Monday. What is today? Wednesday? Yeah. So it was Monday.
All right, on in 30. All right, we're on in 20.
Welcome into Clippers Countdown as your 40-31 LA Clippers are on the road again for their next four, starting in New York against the 45-26 New York Knicks, who have a chance to clinch a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference with a victory tonight. While your Clippers, meanwhile, they're still trying to make sure they have a spot reserved for them in the West, and with a win tonight, they can put themselves in the 6th seed and out of the dreaded play-in for now. And they also need to bounce back after a close 103-101 loss at home to the best team in the league in the OKC Thunder. Here was Coach Lou post-game on the loss Sunday night.
A couple turnovers. Allowed them to get out in transition, got a couple buckets. And then, like I said, James was getting hurt. He couldn't really move. We probably should have saved him from himself and got him out. He was pretty stagnant once he came back in, but he wanted to try to gut through. And then, not have no timeout down stretch when you win a challenge but still lose, that kind of hurt us as well. And so, being able to come down the stretch, like you said, a 1-point game, had a couple shots at it, and we just wasn't able to capitalize.
There was Coach Lou. The good news is James Harden does return, will be in the starting lineup tonight. And the Clippers now have just 11 games left to take advantage of this last stretch of the regular season and improve their position in a stacked Western Conference starting tonight in New York. Tip-off from Madison Square Garden between the Clippers and Knicks is just about 60 minutes away. Coming up, you're going to hear from La Murray of The Athletic. Coach Lou will be here as well, but up next is your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jiminez as you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in New York taking on the Knicks. Tip-off is just about 58 minutes away. Welcome back. I'm Adam Osland. This is the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Coming up, you're going to hear from the head coach, Sharon Lou. But first, we get out to the Mecca. We get out to Madison Square Garden with Carlo Jiminez. Carlo, how we doing?
Double A, what's up? I am good. I'm hanging out here at Madison Square Garden. I got my guys Paul and Henry with me. Life's good. Life is good here in New York. We might be closer to the roof than the floor, but we are in the building here in the Mecca. I'll take it.
Familiar setting for you then. You're good to go. You're very comfortable there.
I'm ready.
Let's talk about the Clippers game back at Intuit Dome on Sunday, a 103-101 loss to the OKC Thunder. The game obviously was winnable down the stretch. The Thunder were missing some guys, but There were some miscues by the Clippers with some ill-advised turnovers, and then also the start to the second quarter, that 15-0 run by the Thunder. Just where do you come out on that loss? Where did things start to go wrong for the Clippers?
I think you mentioned it, but where things started to go wrong, that 15-0 run with Shea on the bench. I mean, the Clippers built a 12-point lead, and then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the bench, and all of a sudden their lead goes away. That is just not something you would expect playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Overall, though, Adam, I thought the defense in that game, I mean, maybe one of the best performances we've seen by this Clipper team. Their ability to hold on against the third best offense in the league in the Oklahoma City Thunder, hold them to just 103 points in that contest. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, his season worst in field goal percentage at 24%. Great stuff for the Clippers in that one. You know, should things come out the way where it's Clippers OKC, Adam, I think I'd be more confident, even after a loss, that the Clippers could give the Thunder a run for their money.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out here with a lot to be determined in the Western Conference standings. But you mentioned the defense on SGA going 7 of 29 from the field. And the primary defender on him throughout much of the ball game was Derek Jones Jr. He's been fabulous all season long. He's got familiarity guarding him in a 7-game series before. He was spectacular Sunday.
He was incredible in that ball game. NBA Courtside had him holding Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to 1 for 11. But if you went to the NBA.com tracking data, Adam, he held them to 1 for 13 from the field in that contest. And I believe the one make is the first layup he shot against Derek, where he just beat him on a downhill drive to the rim. I'd have to check the tape. If you could do a rewatch of the entire game next time, Adam, that would just be super helpful. Instead of only the fourth quarter on YouTube at Clippers Stock, you got to check that out. But no, it's just an incredible performance from Derek Jones Jr. overall. His ability to disrupt one of the best defenders, and then credit the entire Clipper coaching staff. They put together a game plan, Adam, that worked better than any other game plan Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has seen this season to really slow him down. You feel like this continues to show, you know, Ty Lue out, Steph Van Gundy out, and yet the Clippers staff did not miss a beat. It's a lot of credit to that staff, and it's a lot of credit to Ty Lue, who put together that staff. It's been one of the best in the NBA this season.
Kawhi Leonard playing like one of the best right now. Last 6 games, averaging a very efficient 26 points. He had 25 on 10 of 20 shooting, 2 of 4 from the outside against Oklahoma City. Hit some clutch shots in that fourth quarter. It just seems like he's looking like last year's version of himself, which might be the best version offensively we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, last 6 games, 26 points a night, 58% from the field, 55% from the three-point line. And you mentioned the rebounding there at a back-to-back double-doubles for Kawhi. He's only done it in 3 straight games once in his career. So you want to talk about getting back to elite levels. That was back in 2020, January of 2020. But if Kawhi continues to rebound the way he has, he's looking like prime Kawhi. The Clippers know very, very could be the difference. You would expect a playoff run for the Clipper team. And let's be honest, Adam, the playoffs have started for the Clippers. 11 games left. They need to make a push for that 6th seed. Ty Lue and the entire group has talked openly about how they're chasing it. So have the teams around them in the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. This will be a fun 11 games. It continues here in New York, but man, the Clippers are in win now mode, and so is Kawhi Leonard, and he is showing his playoff form so far.
And with a win tonight, the Clippers can slide into that 6th spot in the Western Conference standings, as Golden State would lose to Miami last night. Tip-off from Madison Square Garden is just about 52 minutes away with Carlo Jiminez. And speaking of, coming up next, he's got his one-on-one sit-down conversation with the head coach and Tyronn Lue. You're listening to Clippers Countdown right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
Have 20 minutes if you want to do something. How was your day at work, Henry? Fantastic. What made it fantastic? Oh.
Clippers facing the Knicks in Madison Square Garden, New York. Tip-off is just about 50 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. But first, let's head back over to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jiminez.
Thanks so much, Adam. Here with head coach Tyronn Lue before the Clippers take on the New York Knicks. Coach, you go 3-1 on that homestand. You finally have your group healthy, including you. What was your biggest takeaways from having the complete lineup?
The biggest takeaways is just, our coaching staff, Brian Shaw, what they was able to do, while I was out. That was huge for us. And then our players stepping up and playing the way they play, against some really good teams. It was huge for us. And so now, like I said, going into tonight, we can kind of control our own destiny, and we got to be ready to play tonight to secure that 6th spot and just keep going and keep going. But overall, just getting guys back, just trying to get guys in the right place, the right fits. It's going to take a little time, but I like what our guys are doing.
Definitely back in for that race for 6. Derek Jones Jr. held Shea, according to the NBA tracking data, to 1 for 13 from the field. It was his worst shooting game of the season. What did you guys do so well defensively to slow down? I mean, a guy who's averaging 37 in the month of March to 22 points.
Yeah, I think BLC, Brendan O'Connor, like he said, we came into the shoot around, came into the meeting just talking about we're not going to let him play free. We're not going to let him see seams and gaps. When he attacks, we're going to attack him. And I thought our guys really did a good job of that, and we kind of had him off balance. But I thought also, like you said, Derek Jones did a great job of just playing him one-on-one, keeping him off the free throw line, using his length and athleticism, and did a really good job on it.
Last one for you, Coach, but you started your coaching career under Tom Thibodeau here in New York. Do you see any of his style in your style, or is there anything you took away or remember from when you were under him?
Yeah, when we were in Boston together, just understanding his defensive philosophy and what he did defensively and how he did it, his approach, what he's looking at, what he's looking for, and then the time he put in every single day. Every morning, just coming, to the facility and just putting the work in. I was coming in at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, just learning under him. But he taught me a lot just about the work ethic, about what he's looking for. Like I said, defensive terminology and what he's looking for defensively.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Carlo Jiminez there with Coach Lue as they take on Coach Tibbs and the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden tonight in New York. Tip-off is just about 46 minutes away. Coming up next, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in New York taking on the New York Knickerbockers. Coming up, we got your player to watch. I'm Adam Oslin. This is the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. It's Clippers Countdown. Let's go back in time. In Clippers Rewind, not too far. Just to February 4th of 2023, the Clippers were at MSG for an instant classic where they were down 3 late, only to call upon one of their most reliable players that has recently been moved into, I guess, the category of Clipper fan favorite forever. I'm talking about Nico Batum saving them.
Ball up top, watched by Westbrook. It's a screen from DeAndre. Goes down the left baseline in front of the Oklahoma City bench. Vinny Del Negro wants a whistle, nothing coming. Paul finds Griffin inside. Oh my goodness! Has lightning struck twice? Blake Griffin may have just moss-golfed Kendrick Perkins. Oh my goodness!
You know, what happened there was we saw Kendrick Perkins on TV, and we said, you know what? We got to hear Blake dunk on him again. So that was a little bit of a bonus, but we do have Nico here saving the Clippers at MSG in 2023. Let's hear it.
George stepping to a 3-ball, missed it long, rebound Leonard. Zubac gets it back to him, 3 seconds left. Back to George, swing at Batum, right wing 3. Oh, he's got it! Put it in at the horn, and we've got overtime at MSG.
That shot from Nico Batum got the Clippers into OT, where they would eventually win by a final of 134-128 over the Knicks. That was back in 2023. Clutch shots, call him St. Nick. It's what he does. Nico Batum, Nick versus the Knicks tonight at Madison Square Garden. Clippers and Knicks. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, we'll get your player to watch right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in New York taking on the Knicks. Tip-off is just about, let's call it 38 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Oslin. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Still to come, we got La Murray from The Athletic. But first,
this is LA Clippers basketball.
Watching this guy play right now is really something.
Players to watch.
we're watching James Harden. after he had a sprained right foot against Oklahoma City late in that ball game. But he's ready to go once again. He's only missed 3 games so far this season for the Clippers. He's been an absolute tank, Mr. Reliable, an Iron Man out there. And last time against the Knicks, he had 27 points for the Clippers and 5 made three-pointers. That was in a 105-95 victory just about 2.5 weeks ago at Intuit Dome. So we'll see what he can do for an encore against the Knicks now in their house at Madison Square Garden. But just want to see how James Harden is moving out there. See if he still has that burst, if he's able to get by his man and get to the basket, coming off what was a bit of a scary foot injury there. Good to see he's available, though. Sounds like he is feeling much better. Clippers and Knicks from Madison Square Garden. Tip-off 37 minutes away. Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, your complete injury report. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers taking on the Knicks in New York. Tip-off is just 36 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Coming up, we got La Murray from The Athletic. Join me on Monday at Clippers Talk on the YouTube side. Will be joining us on this road trip, I think, pretty frequently here. First, though, let's get to your injury report brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, download the app today and use code KLAC to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Mentioned it earlier, James Harden available, ready to go. Still out for the Clippers, Jordan Miller with that left hamstring injury. For the New York Knicks, they will be without Jalen Brunson once again against the Clippers. Remember, he twisted his right ankle in overtime, I believe, against the Lakers the night before they took on the Clippers at Intuit Dome in that 10-point victory for the Clippers a few weeks back. That right ankle still not feeling good enough to go. He remains out. Obviously their best player and one of the best players in the league right now. So the head of the snake is gone, but they still got enough. They got Carl Anthony Towns. They got Mikal Bridges. They got OG Anunoby. They're still a pretty stacked squad, and Mitchell Robinson is back for them. The Clippers didn't see him the last time around. Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, we'll have La Murray on from Madison Square Garden as we get set for the Clippers and Knicks. Tip-off 34 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in New York taking on the Knicks. Tip-off is just about 30 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Still to come, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. But the news, obviously, is that the Clippers with a victory tonight would jump up into that sixth spot after a Golden State Warriors loss with Jimmy Butler back in Miami last night to his former team in the Heat. It's obviously the Golden State Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves who are jockeying for position right now with your LA Clippers. Both of them have easier schedules remaining the rest of the way, especially Minnesota. They have about the 24th easiest, you could say, or top five, one of the easiest schedules remaining. So this Clippers team has to win ball games, including this one against the Knicks. It is a huge contest with seeding implications on the line for your LA Clippers as they look to bounce back as well. After a tough loss, a winnable game, especially without Chet Holmgren, without J-Dub against OKC on Sunday. Clippers losing by 2, 103-101. The game where they had some issues, especially starting that second quarter, and that has been an ongoing issue for some time now, where it just feels like the Clippers can't find the right combinations next to Kawhi Leonard with the second unit and getting a cohesive group together that can play with some consistency out there to start second quarters. While we have a moment, though, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.
This is LA Clippers basketball. AM 570 KLAC Los Angeles, 98.7 KYSR HD2 Los Angeles, and iHeart Radio Station.
Coming up, we'll have Law Murray on from Madison Square Garden. But this Clippers squad, look, they've won 8 of their last 10. They have been playing very well overall. But this is a big test, a 4-game road trip here starting in New York against the Knicks. And then on Friday, they will be in Brooklyn taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Join us right now from Madison Square Garden is your man, boots on the ground from the Athletic, La Murray, who made it through the subway traffic and has arrived at Madison Square Garden. La, thanks for doing this here on the Countdown.
Yeah, we in there.
Stuff on Monday, but not everybody heard it. The start of the second quarter for the Clippers against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they gave up a 15-0 run early on there in the second, and just not having a lot of consistency with lineups that have been cohesive enough to hold on to leads to start second quarters, even with Kawhi Leonard leading them. Just what have you seen from those group, and what is Coach Lue looking for?
You know what? I asked a couple of questions that directly hit at that and indirectly hit at that. And one thing that T. Lue was saying is they do need that is a priority. They need to get that unit better. I think that the thing that he mentioned that needs to be an area of improvement is the idea of random basketball. Now, that's interesting because when you think of random basketball, you think of just a lack of organization offensively. And part of that is who are you playing through? T. Lue says he wants to play through his best guys. He said he's old school. And so if you're going to be old school and play through your guys, you need to identify who those guys are. And that's where I think things get tricky because there are so many guys in that group. When you're talking about Ben Simmons, Bogdanovic, and then you add in a Kawhi Leonard, and I think they're trying to reintegrate Norman Powell. It's like, what are you going to do? Like, who are you playing through? Are you asking Ben to push the pace and to run things? Are you asking Kawhi to be Kawhi? Are you trying to get Norman these touches, increase his opportunities to score? Are you running things through Bogey, especially if Zoo happens to be in the game with those lineups and Ben's maybe not in the game? And I think they need to organize that. I think they need to understand their lineups and go from there.
So this is something they have to iron out. Do you think he gets to a point where Ivica Zubac is starting with that group in the second unit to start second quarters?
I'm not sure they would like. I mean, Zoo's got to sit at some point. not to be like T. Lue when Russell Westbrook was in the playoffs last year, game 2. But he's got to sit at some point. Like, you got to find bench players who can play together consistently. Like, they got 2 weeks to figure it out. Arguably, you could have said 2 weeks ago they had 2 weeks to figure it out. So, these are critical times. They need to win games, but they also need to figure out what works. But they also have so many guys healthy now that you want to see what actually is what you're able to do. You want to turn some stones over, and I think it's hard. I think that when you don't have as many healthy guys, it helps some coaches. It helps some teams because they're like, we ain't got no choice. We're just going to have to work, you know. You don't get lost. I don't even think they're been too crazy with the experimentations. I just think that it's a lot of good players. Sometimes I also just think I'm going to keep coming back to this. They just played the number one defense in the league.
Yeah.
A team that did not have the same complement of offensive talent, and they locked in even more defensively. And you're going to look bad when a team wants to win with the kind of defense that team has. So you don't want to overreact either. The team's been playing all right. Like, the second unit's been playing all right. They just got to get some consistency against the teams that matter.
Speaking of Ivica Zubac, he only got up 9 shots in that game on Sunday, but they were going up against a great defense that was swarming. And their last 3 turnovers of the ball game were them trying to find Ivica Zubac in the fourth quarter. They've had turnover problems really going back to game 1 at Intuit Dome against the Phoenix Suns this season, late in games. Is there enough time to get that finally ironed out, to get that cleaned up Law, before we get to the playoffs?
Man, I think it's been cleaning up. Like, the Clippers were bottom 3 for a long time this season. Now, with all the games accounted for, I think they're we're past game 70, just about. Like, they're not in the bottom 5 anymore. They're
Sure.
still bad.
Late in ball games specifically, though, it seems like the bad turnovers remain at times, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a part where I think you just got to look at it sometimes. Because like I said, there's been games where they play clean basketball, and then there's been games where, again, you get the Thunder game. Like, a lot of those turnovers, I won't give the Thunder credit for. You call a timeout and you got your best passer inbounding, that's a bad turnover. You got Norm. Everyone in the arena is expecting Norm to shoot as he drives into the paint. Instead, he drops it off late to Zoo. Zoo dropped that pass because he wasn't expecting Norman Powell to pass in that spot.
Yeah, speaking of Russell Westbrook,
that's a turnover. And then you got I just feel like there's going to be tonight's a good look. The Knicks don't want to force turnovers because they don't want to send teams to the foul line. Like, that's their style of defense, right? So that should help the Clippers a lot. Take care of the basketball, get it to your best guys, play through them. The Knicks have good individual defenders, but they haven't always been on the same page as a team defensively. And the biggest spot is they give up threes. The biggest factor when they beat the Knicks earlier this month was they got threes. James Harden he got comfortable. They don't have that. So, like, I'm looking for breakouts from Norman Powell. Obviously, all eyes will be on James, just like the last time we were in this building. Because the last time we were in this building, that's when James Harden played his first game as a Clipper. So there's a lot of opportunities for improvement. We know that we know if the Clippers have success, we know where it's going to come from.
You've been on James Harden watch, reporting well on this journey as he has made it back into the starting lineup. He doesn't miss a ball game. He's only missed 3 all season long. How has he been this durable, like, at the age of 35? It's pretty darn impressive, especially this year.
Yeah, man. Well, he works on his body, like, period. He works really hard on his body. That's a year-round thing. We saw it in the summertime. I wrote about what they were looking like coming into training camp. They drilled down even more in training camp. He's already a naturally strong dude. He's not a small guard at all. And I think that's a testament to him. I think a lot of it is not facing Lugens Dort more often than you need to. So that helps. Lou hurt him. He was in pain Sunday night, but everything's been positive since then. He made the flight. He went out late. He went to practice and got some work in with Maggie. Not even a game time decision. He's playing basketball. So he's been like this his whole career. I mean, he had some issues in Brooklyn with the hamstring because that was a weird off season and him trying to get out and everything. I think people looked at that and thought that was James Harden. James has always been more durable than most, and sometimes you got to see him get older and struggle and be like he's still showing up to play to appreciate it.
So Nico Batum only played 5 minutes against OKC. Much was made of that. He played heavy minutes against the Knicks and had one of his best games, if not his best game of the season. Last time they saw him Into a Dome where he was getting the start and guarding Karl Anthony Towns. How many minutes do you expect for Nico in this one?
Well, I expect him to play a lot more than he played Sunday. That's for sure. I mean, he was amazing against Cat, as he always is. Going back to Cat being in Minnesota, so this is a good matchup for him. Again, the Knicks lead threes, so Nico is going to have opportunities to shoot that thing. Everybody in this building knows what Nico Batum's three-pointer looks like. You remember the overtime that he forced.
Oh, we played
2
it
years
earlier,
ago.
yeah.
And so, like, I think he loves playing in this building. I think that he loves playing against the guys that the Knicks have as far as personnel. And it's not like, again, the Thunder are a handsy, physical defense. Honestly, the Knicks should be that, but they're not. So that bodes well for Nico.
They've been a little bit better as of late. It seems like while the offense is trending down from where it was earlier in the season, the defense has been a little bit better for them. But what have you seen overall from this Knicks bunch without Jalen Brunson out there in the style of the way they have to play to win now?
I think they got more guys who can do stuff. Like, their offense is again, I think a lot of that comes down to, are they playing a team that can stop them? Last night they were playing a Alice Mavericks team. Let's just put it that way. And so the defensive intensity will be a whole lot different for the Knicks tonight. They saw it when they went to Intuit Domes. That was also 0 nights off and, playing without their point guard. They might be used to playing without Jalen, but Miles McBride is not playing as well. Cameron Payne will be starting at point guard. And that means Tyler Kolek will be the backup point guard, a rookie who I like Tyler Kolek, but he's a rookie, So I think if the Clippers bring the appropriate attention to the ball game, then they're going to stop the Knicks because they know that Cat can get his points, but Cat's not going to create a whole lot of offense for others. Mikal can get his points. He's not going to create a whole lot of offense for others. OG can create his points. Just like last night, OG was outstanding last night. OG's not going to create a lot of offense for others. There's a theme here, right? Josh Hart can create for others. Josh Hart not looking to score. And so I think that that's really what it comes down to. The Clippers are pretty damn good when their attention to detail's up, and that's been up a whole lot more often than it hasn't been. They know what they're dealing with. They know that these are pros on the other side, and they know that the Miami Heat gave the Clippers a good opportunity here, just like Sunday. They can either take advantage of it or they can go to Brooklyn or go nowhere. We're in New York, and and you'll be feeling that regret.
Law, I've never been there to MSG. Does it still have the aura for you? Do you feel it to be the basketball mecca that everybody talks about still?
I mean, MSG is dope, man. I mean, my seats are in a weird place, but like MSG is dope. I can't wait to spend this $25 voucher on the concourse level. You know what I'm saying? So, the coolest thing about this place is it's on the 8th floor, bro. I'm on the 8th floor of a building right now. The court is on the 6th floor. Like, there's trains running and down below all of us right now. Like, it's so cool. So that's the thing that gets me with this place. Like, yeah, everybody wants to come here, especially when the Knicks are good. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Tracy Morgan, if he here, he's not gonna get sick and whatnot. I really enjoy this place. So I'm not gonna gas it up more than I need to, but it's dope to be here.
He runs New York. It's Law Murray of The Athletic. Check him out there. Always read his work and be as prepared as you can possibly be for each and every Clippers ball game and this long journey we've been going through this season where they have just 11 games left, including tonight at Madison Square Garden versus the Knicks. Law, thanks so much for doing this pregame once again.
Hey, thank you, and enjoy the games, everybody.
Coming up next, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. Clippers in New York at Madison Square Garden, taking on the Knicks. Tip-off just about 16 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Knicks from Madison Square Garden, and tip-off is just about 14 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. Welcome back in. It's Clippers Countdown. Coming up, we'll get back out to MSG with Carlo Jiminez. But first, your drive around the league. It's brought to you by Toyota's electrified lineup, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, all electrics, and even fuel cell electric vehicles. You can choose exactly the type you need for your lifestyle. We make it easy. Only game that has tipped off so far in the association would be in Philly, where the Washington Wizards lead 15-8 early on. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Coming up a little bit later, place the Clippers will be on Friday. In Brooklyn, the Nets are hosting the 25-47 Toronto Raptors. It'll be the Nuggets later on tonight in Denver, hosting the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Phoenix Suns welcome in the Boston Celtics. Suns trying to get into the play-in tournament, trying to get that 9th or 10th spot currently. Clippers have a chance with a victory over the Knicks in this ball game to be in the 6th spot in the West. 11 games left, including tonight's, for the Clippers here in the regular season. Huge stakes on the line. Clippers, Knicks from Madison Square Garden. And coming up next, we're heading back out there with Carlo Jiminez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in New York taking on the Knicks from Madison Square Garden. Tip-off is just about 10 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. It's Clippers Countdown, the official pregame show of your LA Clippers. Coming up, we'll get to your keys to victory, but first, back out to Madison Square Garden with Carlo.
Hey.
With us. Carlo, how has this Knicks team been performing without their leader in Jalen Brunson as of late?
You know, Adam, it's been interesting because the minute the Knicks get healthy, with Mitchell Robinson back in the lineup, Jalen Brunson then goes down for an extended period of time. They have to do it by committee. That's the message from Tom Thibodeau, and they have done it with Miles Bridges stepping up in a big, big way. Ever since the Brunson injury, Bridges is averaging 22 points a game on 57% from the field. He's been excellent. OG Anunoby, 35 points last game, also excellent for them. It's really a group effort by this team, a next man up mentality, if you will, very similar to the Clippers when they were without Kawhi Leonard. One thing to note, though, Adam, while they've had no Brunson, their defense, because of Mitchell Robinson, has been excellent. The second best defense in terms of defensive rating in the month of March. They have really turned it up on that end. Now, the offense, though, has slipped mightily the last 10 games, just 25th in the association.
So the Clippers do have Nico Batum with them this time around, back in Madison Square Garden. He's hit a big shot there before. He only played 5 minutes on Sunday against OKC. But back it into a dome just a few weeks ago when they took on the Knicks, he was getting the start against Karl Anthony Towns. What do you expect from Nico in this ball game, production-wise?
A lot more minutes than the last game, no doubt about it. Nico Batum played limited minutes against OKC, but that's kind of the beauty of having somebody like Nico Batum, Adam. He doesn't care how much he's playing. He is there to help the team. He's not going to complain. He's going to stay ready no matter what. Very similar to Patty Mills, Drew Eubanks, all those guys off the bench really pride themselves on being ready for the game and when they're called on, no matter what. So it's been great to see Nico Batum not really show any difference in emotion, whether he's playing or not. But I'd expect him to play in this one. You mentioned the big shot last time out in this build, or 2 games ago in this building with the Clippers when he was last a Clipper here in Madison Square Garden and had that big shot to send it in overtime. The Clippers are looking to sweep the Knicks for the first time since that season. Nico obviously a big part of the win then. I will have no doubt he'll be a big part of it now.
My player to watch in this one is James Harden, Carlo, as he is giving it a go off the foot injury, back in the starting lineup. Who's your player to watch for the Clippers today?
Guys, I just want to let you know, Adam picked James Harden, who, by the way, averages the 5th most points per game against the Knicks of any player who has played 12 or more games against them. So he literally couldn't have picked any better player alive. Like, if you said, who would you take against the Knicks in New York in general in the NBA, you'd pick James Harden.
I mean, I could have taken MJ or something like that.
No, you can't. He's not playing.
He's alive, and he still puts fear into them.
Well, yeah, but he's not on the court.
Okay, fair enough. Who do you got?
James Harden. I go Kawhi Leonard because that's how we're going to do this.
Last Clippers MJ,
game,
okay.
Yeah. 26 points a game on nearly 60% from the field. The Claw in the Garden. Expect big-time game from Kawhi Leonard. Especially, Adam, I'm excited for this matchup. Him and OG Anunoby. OG is somebody who modeled his game after Kawhi. He's playing his idol tonight. Meanwhile, Kawhi Leonard doesn't care who you are on the other side. He's trying to win ball games. This should be a fun one.
Clippers taking on the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Carlo Jiminez, your radio voice of the Clippers, our guest here on the pregame show, Clippers Countdown. You know, Bogey just 1 of 6 last time out. He's got plenty of games, plenty of reps against the Knicks, being in the Eastern Conference with the Atlanta Hawks for so long. Interested to see how he responds after a slew of games where he was shooting the lights out, then one off game on Sunday against OKC. Want to see him bounce back in this one.
You know, it's a great point you bring on that because I think because this was a East-West trade, a lot of Eastern Conference teams didn't know a lot about Bogdan Bogdanović because there's a big difference in seeing a guy two times a year versus 4 times a year. But in talking to people around the Knicks who know Bogey's game, they're like, they thought this was one of the biggest trades this trade deadline. I mean, the Clippers' ability to get somebody like Bogdan Bogdanović who can knock down shots, who can facilitate, who can be an elite scorer, and who, maybe most importantly, he's never scared of the moment. He will continue to fire. That confidence does not waver. I would expect him to have a big game for the Clippers, a big bounce-back performance, still shooting 50% in his last 13 contests from the three-point line.
Another guy I'm looking to see turn things around is he's just kind of ramping up, and he talked about it on Sunday, but he's still in that stay ready mindset almost with only, I think that was his 3rd game back. I mean, Norman Powell. This will be his 4th game back. He just hasn't been as consistent. He was out for some time, got 9 minutes against the Lakers, coming back from a knee injury, then had a hamstring issue. But want to see Norman Powell with just 11 games back really get back to playing at that level where we said he should have been an all-star this season.
100%. And Norman Powell has talked about after that last game against OKC, it feels like it will all come together simply because he's finally off that minutes restriction. He can play free. He doesn't have to worry about when he's coming out. And also, he does a lot, Adam, off the ball, where he's running off screens, where he's driving downhill. That takes a lot of conditioning. And Norman Powell's got to get, you can run in a gym empty as many times as you want. it takes some time to be able to play an NBA game at NBA pace. And so Norman Powell's conditioning will continue to come. Ty Lue said 4 or 5 games before he's back to his normal self. Here we are. We're sitting in that range. Expect Norman Powell. I mean, everyone's got a big game. That's what I'm saying. But
I think Norm is actually my under-the-radar player to watch in this one, Carlo. I think he's that guy.
Pick 2 players to watch.
Come on, he's my
That's
honorable
against the
mention.
rules. No, that's against the rules.
Fair enough. Carlo Jiminez on the call. Clippers taking on the New York Knicks from Madison Square Garden, and tip-off is just about 5 minutes away. Coming up next, we'll get you your keys to victory right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. I like Norm. Harlem World, Clippers in New York taking on the Knicks. Tip off moments away. Let's get to your keys to victory. So the Knicks are just 25th in offense their last 15 games, much of which have been without, I should say, Jalen Brunson. That has taken a big effect on their offensive rating. It has been slowly deteriorating here. 25th in offensive rating their last 15 games, and they're shooting just 34% from 3 over that time, the New York Knicks. The Clippers have to keep them there. Do not let them get hot from distance and find themselves against you in this ball game. All right, here we go. It's Carlo Jiminez on the call. Clippers and Knicks from Madison Square Garden in New York, and tip-off is coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network.